now the starting quarterback for the other team, and it happened in both instances, and they're playing one another in the season opener.
Snip, snap, snip, snap.
Yeah, a little bit.
We're kind of flipping sides here, but everybody is really excited to see what both of these guys can do. We've got Justin Fields in the Tanner Engstrand offense. What's that going to look like? He's got a young offensive line. Today we find out.
Steelers last season went 4-2 with Fields as the starter. He was then replaced by Russell Wilson. First play from scrimmage, it's Breece Hall. He's got a hole! And Hall's got a first down into Steelers territory. 18-yard rip to open the season. Tackle made by Jalen Ramsey.
Right out of the gate, this offense said they wanted to be physical, said they wanted to get the running game going. Aaron Glenn is big on that, and this offensive line runs right behind that left side. Olu Fashanu and Breece Hall with a big rip right out of the gate.
Breece Hall, this is the final year of his contract. Aaron Glenn, that's right. That's what they want to be. That's the identity that they're trying to set for this franchise. Motion man Arian Smith. And it's Hall again, zigzag move. Back-to-back successful runs. This time Juan Thornhill steps in. We could go through a lot of questions going into the 2025 season for the Jets. Here's one that really caught your attention.
Yeah, Aaron Glenn has talked about it. He wants to establish an identity. He wants to be a tough, physical team, and that all starts with running the ball. He's got 1A and 1B in the backfield, and Breece and Braylon Allen, and they're clearly using that early.
They called them the Killer Bees. Now it'll be Braylon Allen getting the nod. Spin move, very close, not quite enough. Alex Highsmith ranges over to make the stop after the 2-yard pickup. Defensively, Pittsburgh experience group, they got more experience during the offseason.
They did, and they added a lot of it on the back end. Obviously, they've had that front with Cam Hayward, TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, but the back end, you add Darius Slay, you add Jalen Ramsey. Those are big, veteran, experienced pieces to an already fantastic defense.
This is now a 3rd down and 1. Allen remains in there. Jets trying to keep this drive alive. It's the push. Fields gets it and then some. So that's the other element to this Jets offense. Justin Fields is one of the most gifted runners at the quarterback position in the league.
No doubt, and that one doesn't take a whole lot of gift right there. That's just kind of falling forward, but he did sidestep a little bit over the right guard and right tackle, which gave him a little more runway.
4 plays, 4 runs for the Jets. The Jets are on the move inside the Pittsburgh 35. Hall is back in there. Pistol formation for New York. First possession of the day, first throw, Fields, sliding, Garrett Wilson has got it. So they get the short pop to the sideline that turns into an 8-yard pickup.
Just a nice, easy connection early on in the game to get these guys on the same page. Obviously, college teammates, Garrett Wilson's just going to run a little quick out. Fields puts the ball on him, maybe a little bit behind him, but get that rhythm going early on, make him feel comfortable.
Garrett Wilson voted a captain. He said that it was just one of the best days of his life when he got the news. Hall up the gut. They are running the ball very effectively. It's a 4-yard gain. Patrick Queen, the tackling machine for Pittsburgh, makes the stop. Obviously, if you're going to change your identity, these numbers have to change.
No doubt. And actually, last year, they did not score a touchdown on their opening drive of the game until week 15. So here, they're clearly marching the ball down the field. But now that we're inside the red zone, can they punch it in to get that opening score?
The last winning season for the New York Jets was 2015. They went 10-6. It has been a long stretch. 7th play of the drive. First down inside the 20. Braylon Allen, physical play up front. TJ Watt ready for him. Slows him down along with Highsmith. Short game.
You're going to see 90 right here. He's going to go inside underneath. Membu is a young tackle. He is a great tackle. He's going to be a good one in this league, but he does have a little tendency to get out over his toes. You get excited early on in the game, your first start against a guy like that. You want to get your hands on him, just a little over-aggressive, and TJ Watt takes advantage.
2nd down and 9. Shotgun. Again. Allen is buried behind the line of scrimmage by Watt. Loss of 2.
So one way you try and slow down these great edges is you do a zone read. Put them in limbo. exactly what's about to happen, and they try to do that. Justin Fields is reading him. He just makes the wrong read right there. And when you stay square as a defensive end, that's what makes the read so tough for a quarterback, because he's not 100% sure which way you're going.
And now they're going to go with Isaiah Davis, third down back on a 3rd and 11. Field trying to make sure everybody's on the same page here. It's a run to Davis. And he picks up 4. Steelers were ready for him. And now they're facing a 4th down.
I think that speaks a little bit to how this day is going to go for the Jets. You know, you're 3rd and 11. You think about dropping back and throwing the ball towards the end zone, or at least trying to get the first down. Aaron Glenn says, guys, let's run the ball, let's stay safe and get the points on the board. That's a little indicative of what might be to come.
Nick Folk, 40-year-old, second stint with the New York Jets. This is a 35-yard attempt to get the Jets on the board first. Tennessee to snap it, the home from McNamara, and the field goal is good. Jets with a 3-0 lead over the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers getting ready to make his Pittsburgh debut when we come back.
On CBS is sponsored by Burger King. And BK, have it your way. You rule. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. And by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
2024 season didn't go as planned for the Jets. They were 2-1. They lost a game here against Denver that basically turned their season around. Briggs Irwin missed a field goal, and then the bottom dropped out. They finished 5-12. A lot of changes for this franchise. They have a 3-0 lead here in the season opener against the Steelers, and Nick Folk will kick it off. Kenneth Gainwell came over from the champion Philadelphia Eagles. Caleb Johnson's the rookie from Iowa. He's the return man, stumbling a bit, stood up, and dropped at the 28-yard line. The reaction as Aaron Rodgers takes the field. You never know. You get a crowd that is made up of Jets fans, but a lot of terrible towels here as well, JJ.
Yeah, there really is. It looks, I mean, if you had to guess right now, I'd say it's about 50-50. And you never know. Are they booing him because he's Aaron Rodgers and was here the last 2 years, or are they booing him because they're Jets fans and that's what you do to an opposing player?
Oh, I'm going to say the former, just instinctually, but I don't know. There's Rodgers on first down, pressure, and he's brought down. Quinnen Williams gets home.
Right out of the gate, Quinnen Williams, big 95. You're going to see him come up the center. He goes inside to start, but then rips back outside. And takes down Aaron Rodgers. Quinn Williams talked to us this week about how he wanted to play the run better. He didn't really play it well last year. Well, he played the pass all right, and he played the pass all right there.
And he's got a new mate up front in Harrison Phillips, who is going to be a good friend for him in stopping the run. Shotgun on 2nd and 14. It's Gainwell. Carries a body with him or two and picks up 4 well-earned yards. Williams got in on that hit. Aaron Rodgers, and now the relationship with Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator. How's that going to go?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers his whole career has been an 11 personnel guy. That's one tight end, got all these receivers out there. Arthur Smith likes to use multiple tight ends. This is new for Aaron, but he said he's excited to work with Arthur. But I can tell you, starting out in 3rd and long is not how you want to do it with a new relationship.
Nickel package here for the Jets. 3rd down and 10 for the Steelers on Pittsburgh's opening drive. Play clock winding down. Rodgers just got the snap off, and he snaps a pass for a 1st down. Hits Freiermuth, their tight end, to move the chains.
You're going to see a slant from Freiermuth. He's just going to come right underneath. Rodgers is going to have his eyes on him the whole time. Hit him across the middle. Nice pitch and catch for a 1st down. And I would imagine you're going to see those tight ends use the lock. Aaron Rodgers loves this tight end room.
We asked Mike Tomlin about Rodgers. He said his talents are freaky. He can still make every throw in the book, not just for a 41-year-old, for any age. On the ground, Jalen Warren just got a new extension. Named the #1 running back for this team with Najee Harris now with the Chargers. No gain on that play. The Jets were fully prepared for it.
Coach Tomlin called Jalen Warren the nuts and bolts back. He's kind of the downhill runner. He's your everyday go-to guy. And they've got some change-ups as well. Kenneth Gainwell and Caleb Johnson. So we'll see how they use that backfield. But one thing I've been watching is Aaron Rodgers under center. He's traditionally been a majority shotgun guy. He said yesterday he's very comfortable under center and is looking forward to utilizing the run game.
6:25 to go here in the 1st. Rodgers, it's dropped. DK Metcalf. The big acquisition from Seattle signed a 5-year, $150 million deal. Could not haul it in.
Everybody else ran their guys off. DK comes underneath on the crossing route. He's open, hits him in the hands. It's just a tough one there. Still looking for his 1st catch.
We asked Rodgers about Metcalf. He said, just a classy guy. A lot of yes, sir, no, sir. He didn't know if he was saying yes, sir, because he was old. And then he realized he said it to everybody.
It's understandable. You can understand the confusion.
You said yes, sir, to me yesterday. I thought
that one was because
of my age. 6:20 to go here. Rodgers will throw it out in space. Metcalf gets to the outside. 1st down. Jets had him hemmed in, and Metcalf slips to the perimeter.
That is what a good quarterback is going to do, especially with one of the veteran guys. He wants to get involved. He has a tough drop on the play before. Go immediately back to him. Get his confidence back up. And a beautiful catch and run by DK down the sideline.
Jets were blitzing. Gainwell with a key block to give Rodgers a little more time, and then Metcalf makes it happen. So, new set of downs for the Steelers. They're just shy of the 35 of New York. 3-0 lead for the Jets. Take the handoff. Rodgers. Flip underneath. Catch made. Jonnu Smith coming off a Pro Bowl season. 6 yards. Quincy Williams with the tackle. You can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
And they love Jonnu Smith, and they're going to use him in a multitude of ways. Last year, he had 544 yards after the catch. The Steelers tight ends combined last year had only 458 yards after the catch.
Smith came over in that deal that included Jalen Ramsey for Minkah Fitzpatrick. 2nd down and 4. It's Gainwell. So we're seeing what they think of Kenneth Gainwell. He has been a big part of this opening drive, and he picks up 6 yards. That's another Pittsburgh 1st down, eventually brought down by McDonald.
You're going to see a great job by the left side of that offensive line. There's a double team between the center and the guard, and Broderick Jones opens up the hole by pushing his man up the field, and Gainwell
Steelers are going fast here. Rodgers gets to the line in a hurry, now taking his time. Gainwell remains in there. Line of scrimmage is the 25. We've got 4:28 to go in this opening quarter. Tight play the drive. Little toss. Gainwell stops on a dime. They tried to get low, but the Jets were there. 2.5-yard gain. Harrison Phillips leading that charge for New York.
Big addition for this Jets team, in my opinion. Harrison Phillips, not only for his ability as a run stopper, but most importantly as a guy in the locker room. He talked about his relationship with Quinn Williams and how he wants to help him be the best player he can be. But it's just the vibes that he brings into that locker room and the way he elevates the play of everyone around him.
And he said some of what he's doing now is similar to what he did in Buffalo. He just had to clear some of the cobwebs. Play action. Rodgers on time.
In the end zone, it's a touchdown. Yes.
Aaron Rodgers leads the Steelers for an opening drive score here in 2025.
This is the Arthur Smith offense. It is play action, getting tight ends out in the open, getting wide receivers out in the open, and getting Aaron Rodgers on the move to an open man for his first touchdown as a Pittsburgh Steeler.
The receiver is known as Benny Sco. More for his special team talents, but the Steelers getting him involved early. They cap off a 10-play, 71-yard drive with a touchdown and an extra point. Pittsburgh has got the lead. Aaron Rodgers back at MetLife, but this time he's wearing the black and gold. You're watching NFL Kickoff presented by YouTube TV. Welcome you back to MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford, New Jersey. 7-3 lead for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Faced a couple of third downs, converted, drive remained alive, and then they cash in on the Rodgers-Skoranek combination. No, how many people had that as the first touchdown of the season?
I feel like the odds would have been pretty good on Ben Skoranek first touchdown score.
Boswell kicks it off. Gibson down as the return man. Hits it. Oh, he slips through. The ball slips down.
Was he touchdown?
The ball did pop free. The question was whether or not he was touched going down. The Jets have it. And they're going to mark him down at the 45-yard line.
It's going so fast, he took himself down.
So there's a seam there, then runs into his own man.
See, I think that's actually a fumble if he lets go of the ball at the end because nobody
Jets jump
down. They got it, doesn't matter.
The Query ball was on it. They mark it at the 45. Operating out of the gun, Fields. Fields spin. Fields run. And it gets out of bounds. So he picks up 2 yards. Initially just looking to throw it. Couldn't find an open man.
You got Tyler Johnson blocking Alex Highsmith. It's definitely not the matchup you're looking for, but he did just enough to get in the way and let Fields slip out.
And Fields going with the double gloves here in the opener.
I can't speak from a quarterback's perspective, but obviously you don't see that terribly often, but it has been rainy here in MetLife Stadium, so certainly something to watch.
Take the handoff, Fields. And that pass is complete to Garrett Wilson. Working that sideline, and he's got a first down. Let's bring in the third member of our crew downstairs to Evan Washburn.
Hey, fellas, strong start for this Jets offensive line that was dealt a serious blow on Tuesday. They lost their guard, Elijah Vera-Tucker, for the season with a triceps injury. He's arguably their best and most versatile lineman. They moved Joe Tippmann, who was the starting center, over at guard, and then Josh Myers moves into that starting center. He's been a starter in this league. He has some history with Fields going back to Ohio State, so something to watch here early in this one.
Pistol formation here for the Jets. Hall. Juke move. Hall. He got brought down by the ankles. That was a whole lot of work for 3 yards.
You know, Ryan, that Elijah Vera-Tucker injury is so difficult for that Jets offensive line. He was named a captain just a couple weeks ago by his teammates. He's had tough injury issues in the past, and he was going to be one of those big anchors for this offensive line as they try to establish that Aaron Glenn identity.
Darius Slay had a chance to bring down Hall in the backfield, couldn't do it. So now the Jets are facing a 2nd down and 7, once again in Pittsburgh territory. We're under 2 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Alan Lazard is a healthy scratch at wide receiver. Tyler Johnson in from the practice squad. In stride, it's Hall. Good hands from Hall. Patrick Queen, the linebacker, had the coverage and brings him down after a gain of 5.
This is something Breece Hall does really well. Catching out of the backfield, he just swings out to the side. Fields hit him. A nice, easy pitch and catch.
They go no huddle here. 3rd down and 2. Kuznetsky. And a straight ahead run for Hall is good enough for a first down. They pick up 4. They had 21.4 carries per game last season. It was fewest in the NFL, and there were a number of reasons for that. They had Aaron Rodgers on their team, and they were playing from behind quite a bit.
Yeah, the people always kind of forget that. When you're playing from behind, obviously your run numbers are going to be lower. And when you're winning games, at the end you're running out the clock, so your rush numbers go way up. It's one of those things that as a defense, you always look at it and you try and tell people, hey, when we're winning games, we're going to have that.
30 seconds to go here in the first. Fields, great protection. Deep ball on the way. Rebound caught. Garrett Wilson. Touchdown, Jets. He beats Slay on the play.
What a throw by Justin Fields. Here we've been talking about the run game. We've been talking about how they're going to establish that. And then he goes up and over the top to his newly paid wide receiver, Garrett Wilson, with a beautiful pitch and catch for the Jets touchdown.
The Buckeye connection has put the Jets in front. Garrett Wilson, 3,625 receiving yards in his first 3 seasons. That's the most in Jets history. They signed him to the 4-year, $130 million contract, locking up him and Sauce Gardner. Extra point? Uh-oh. Folk missed it. This was an issue last season, but there is a flag down.
Flag is down.
Penalty marker on the Pittsburgh side at the 12. Bill Vinovich, longtime referee.
Illegal formation. Receiving team. 7 men on one side of the line. 5-yard penalty, retry.
Now, the option here, you could go for two. And Aaron Glenn, we talked about situation in football with him quite a bit.
He comes from Sean Payton. He comes from Dan Campbell. And here comes his offense back onto the field. He said, I'm going to be aggressive, but calculated. And it looks like this calculation says be aggressive.
So after the penalty against the Steelers, the Jets, instead of trying the extra point, they're going to go for two.
And this is one of those situations where having Justin Fields as your quarterback opens the playbook so much in these types. You need to get 1 yard, and you can do just about anything. And your quarterback can take it himself if he wants to.
So Fields will break the huddle, trying to add to the Jets' lead. Two-point attempt here for the Jets. It's Allen. And he's short. They're trying to push the punt. Didn't get there. Play is whistled dead. The Steelers stop the Jets. Jets have to settle for the 9-7 lead. It was Wilson with the over-the-shoulder grab to put the Jets in front.
CBS is sponsored by Royal Caribbean. It's big time. And by Verizon. The NFL is powered by Verizon 5G.
Welcome back. A little tour of downtown Hoboken. We're not going to be the crew that pretends we're in New York when we're in New Jersey. I'm going to show you New Jersey.
I defer to you. You were teaching me all about that kind of stuff yesterday.
I was. Yeah, and you at some point wanted to hear about it anyway. You're like, I'm good. Caleb Johnson, return man. Ball pop free. He got crushed at the 27. Steelers have it.
Helmet on ball. Always going to make it difficult for the returner to hold on to it when you put the crown of that helmet right on the football.
And when your last name has the word ball in it, pretty good bet you were involved. It's more Salino McCrary Ball.
And fittingly, he was named the special teams captain this year. Started out was an undrafted free agent, bounced around on some practice squads, and now is rewarded and shown why.
Steelers retain it though, but now trailing 9-7. From the 20. Rodgers took the handoff. Nice move upfield.
He's going for it. He's going for it.
Andre Cisco trying to chase him down. That's the second time in the first quarter where Metcalf has created after the catch.
Little RPO. Aaron Rodgers feels the blitz coming, so he just splits out the screen to DK. And DK is so big and so fast, he's just able to do it all himself.
End of the first. The Steelers and the Jets switching places at the quarterback position. Rodgers
That's the other
along with
quarter one.
Welcome back. Start of the second quarter. The Jets on top of the Steelers 9-7. Ian Eagle, J.J. Watt, Evan Washburn, the rest of our NFL on CBS crew. 103 total yards for New York, 102 for Pittsburgh. Justin Fields has been perfect throwing the ball, J.J.
4 for 4, 54 yards and a touchdown. It's exactly what the Jets were hoping to get out of him.
Aaron Rodgers, meanwhile, 5 of 6, 93 yards and a score. Motion man, Hayward, back to pass. Rodgers in some trouble, gets rid of it, and nobody there.
Outside the tackle box, we're going to have to see.
And Bill Vinovich went directly over to Rodgers as Rodgers is making his case.
There's no intentional grounding. The quarterback was outside the pocket. Second down.
Pressure, Jermaine Johnson and Quinnen Williams.
Let's take a look. The tackle box just inside that hash mark. Let's see if he gets out there. Ooh, as a former defensive lineman who I lean on the side of the defense, I do not know if he exited the tackle box there.
So similar to the Jets establishing their identity, JJ is establishing his broadcast identity in the first half.
Hey, at least I said former D lineman and not lineman.
You did. Jets underway here in the second quarter. Second and 10. Gainwell could not turn the corner. The Jets sprint to the ball with Michael Carter the second leading the way. NFL Today update. Let's go to Adam Schein.
Oh, and Daniel Jones' first touchdown pass as a member of the Indianapolis Colts. It's Michael Pittman Jr., 27 yards. It's 10-0 Indy. Danny Dimes, 8 of 10 passing. You gotta love sports. I'm back to you.
And we do, Adam. We all love sports, and we love the unpredictable nature of sports.
We do. New faces, new places, having success. Justin Fields, Aaron Rodgers, Danny Dimes.
And now a third down and 11 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's been a whole lot of Gainwell. Rodgers, quick toss, Jonnu Smith. He gets tackled as he crossed the 30-yard line. Steelers are in no man's land.
Let's see, Mike Tomlin, not necessarily the most go-for-it type of guy. Are you kicking a field goal? Boswell, the leg. So successful as a Pittsburgh Steeler throughout his career.
Boswell was 41 of 44 on field goal tries last season. Career long of 59. Did that back in 2020 and 2022. Right now, looking at a 56-yard field goal. Quick snap, approach, Boswell's kick.
In field goal, yes.
Steelers regain the lead. So the Jets did not hit on that two-point conversion when they ran it into the line to Cleveland Allen. And that allowed the Steelers to put a field goal on the board and take a 10-9 advantage. Escape on the ultimate getaway with NCIS Tony and Ziva. Hunted by hackers and assassins, good think espionage is their love language. NCIS Tony and Ziva now streaming on Paramount Plus. So the Steelers get the long field goal from Boswell. He's going to kick it off. For the Jets special team, Waku is questionable to return with a hamstring issue. So Arian Smith is now in there. Gibson is the return man. He gets walloped as he crossed the 30-yard line. Switching places, this is just not something you see very often. In fact, it's only happened one other time where starting quarterbacks from two teams switch teams and then face each other the next year. Trivia, if I want to ask it, I know you already know the answer, so I'll just set you up. Who was that?
Well, let me think on it.
Go
It
deep.
was Goff and Stafford.
Yes, excellent, JJ.
Thank you. Thank you. Extra points for me.
Aaron Rodgers, Justin Fields, both have looked sharp here in the opening half. Fields is going to keep it and ducks out of bounds. So the playbook obviously wide open for Tanner Engstrom, but What's the philosophy, do you think, for Engstrom, who came over from Detroit? He's got a varied background.
Yeah, you play to the strengths of your team. Obviously, coming from Detroit, he's seen what Jared Goff has done in that offense. They run under center, they run the ball very well, which opens up the play-action game, and he brings it here. I asked him, I said, how much under center are you going to be? Because Justin Fields is used to being in the shotgun. And he said, I believe you can be just as physical and set up just as much from the shotgun as you can under center.
And that's exactly where they'll go here on a 2nd and 4. Fake the pitch. Fields. It gets knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
He learned that from somewhere, that guy that knocked it down. I can't quite put my finger on it, but he definitely has learned that from somewhere.
Was it Ed Too Tall Jones video?
Probably. It couldn't have been his brother, because his brother catches those.
Yes.
That's the only thing that I would say about that. But that's a great job getting a hand up in the passing lane, knocking a ball down. So frustrating, both for the quarterback and for the receiver. They think they have something working, and it's off before it even starts.
And that's the first incomplete pass of the day for Fields. The Jets now face a 3rd and 4. From the gun, Fields looking, Fields throwing, tight window. There was a bobble, and it's really close for Rucker.
Did it in a window for Fields. Rucker first chips TJ Watt, and goes out to his route, and Fields finds it, puts it on the proper shoulder. He could have put it on the inside shoulder, which would have put the ball in harm's way with Patrick Queen. He puts it on the outside shoulder of Rucker, which allows him to turn the other way and get the first down. Huge, great throw by Justin.
And Rucker was right. He indicated first down. That spot was really close. Fields, sidearm toss, underneath pass. Hall, he's got blockers, and he's got speed. Brees Hall emerging to the 25. Juan Thornhill helped save a score.
Tanner Engstrand flexing his muscles a little bit here. You got Brees Hall in the backfield. Why not use it? Just sling it out there and let his legs do the work. Slips a tackle there from TJ Watt and all the way down the sideline.
And again, the Jets going very quickly here as they spot the ball at the 25. On the quick snap and go, Brees Hall. Not much room to work. They'll give him 2 yards as the clock continues to move. 11-17 mark of the second.
His zone read keeps showing up. It's clearly one of their plans against these 2 edges of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Alex Highsmith, TJ Watt. They're going to try and slow them down by putting them in a conundrum every time they run that zone read.
No punts in this first half. And the Jets in a position to score once again. Braylon Allen now in there. Motion man Mason Taylor, rookie tight end from LSU. Fit the handoff. Fields turns the corner and gets out of bounds. There is a rhythm right now for the Jets on offense.
This is exactly what we just talked about. Put the edges in limbo. You don't know what he's going to do. Is he going to hand it? Is he going to pull it? And you got to give credit to Mason Taylor. The young rookie tight end did a great job blocking there. The corner comes a little too far inside. And Justin Fields just has those wheels to get the edge.
14 running plays, 7 passes for New York. First and goal. Allen to the backfield. Hand it to him. Allen bulldozing. And he is right there and in for the touchdown. That's what the Jets are trying to establish. They cash in off the ground to Braylon Allen.
The right side of this offensive line did a fantastic job just getting push off the ball. And then the thing I like to see is they're establishing the identity Aaron Glenn wants. Watch all these offensive linemen come and push this pile. You see Beck in there. You see the other offensive linemen come in. That's the identity that Aaron Glenn has been trying to establish, and that's something that he is going to be very happy to see in film tomorrow.
Aaron Glenn said these guys are hungry to win. They want to know how to win. I've asked things of them that they haven't been asked to do before in training camp.
Yeah, a lot of live periods, a lot of real tackling drills, some of those things that, yes, there's some risks that comes with it, but there's also a lot of reward.
And that one is dead solid perfect for Folk. 4th lead already. Jets celebrating on offense. They didn't Steelers season finished 10-7. They were 10-3. They lost 5 straight, including the playoffs, to wrap up the year. Iron Eagle, J.J. Watt. Fortunately, we wear the same size, so we can just switch blazers at halftime.
I thought this one was a little snug.
A little snug.
Yeah, it might be yours.
Yeah, we'll check that. 10:03 mark of the second quarter. Jets kick it off to Caleb Johnson. Johnson has stood up and dropped at the 28-yard line. The Jets kickoff luncheon held on August 28th. United players, coaches, and fans in celebration of the upcoming season while raising funds for 2 meaningful causes. The event generated over $850,000 for the Lucas Research Alliance and the New York Jets Foundation. This is part of the reason why you can have all sorts of opinions prior to week 1, and then you play the game, JJ. It's 16-10 in the second quarter.
That is the beauty of NFL football. You think you know what's going to happen. You think you know it might be a low-scoring game, a run-the-ball game, and then you got 16-10 already.
Turn it to the outside, and Jalen Warren, he spilled out after the gain of 2 by Michael Carter II.
It does make it fun, though, Ryan. I can tell you that. The back and forth, the scoring.
And even talking to your brother about it, we asked him about his squad. He said, yeah, we like what's on the squad. It's time to actually put it on the field because I've learned you win nothing on paper in the NFL.
Yes.
No truer statement.
Yep. Nobody likes to be the one that won the offseason and lost the season. You got to go out there and you got to do it, and you have to perform. And so far, both of these teams are doing a great job of it.
Gainwell is back in there. This is a 2nd and 8 now for Pittsburgh. Rodgers with a flip, good field for Gainwell, and he's hit along the sideline. The Jets got Quincy Williams, who's a sideline-to-sideline linebacker, to make that stop 4 yards. All right, a lot of changes for Pittsburgh. What was the mindset for the Steelers in your mind?
I think they're doing a all-in for this year. They're getting Aaron Rodgers on a 1 year. Bring in DK Metcalf, you got Jalen Ramsey, Darius Slay. They know that they have an opportunity. They've got Cam Hayward that just re-signed TJ Watt. They have a squad that they believe in. They said, let's go ahead and put all the cards on the table.
DK Metcalf just switched to the other side on a 3rd down and 4. The clock is winding down. Rushes on. Rodgers step. Rodgers is sacked back to the 29. Will McDonald. He's got quickness. He's got bend. He's got the length and spin moves all in one.
This is just a great job of bull rushing, getting to the level of the quarterback and falling back underneath by Will McDonald. Aaron sees the crossers, doesn't think he has what he wants, so he slides up a little bit in the pocket, but it's a little too long as Will McDonald already there.
And our first punt of the day comes at the 7:52 mark of the second quarter. Not much of a rush on Corliss Wakeman. Keeps in the return man. And there was Skoranek right there to greet him. Fair catch brought in cleanly after the 44-yard kick. Jets now operating Will Lee. You're watching NFL Kickoff presented by YouTube TV. shots of today's game are provided by Nationwide. It's been a crisp offensive showing for the New York Jets. They've got 80 rushing yards here in the first half. They averaged last season 91.8 per game.
Something I look at with this offense line, they had that huge touchdown to Wilson early on. When did they go back to that well? When did they see if the Steelers have got it corrected?
Shotgun once again from Fields. And the Jets, 7:47 to go, second quarter. Motion man, Arian Smith rushes on. Fields delivers a strike to Wilson. So the chemistry going back to the college days. When we asked Garrett Wilson about Fields, he said the staff believes in him. There's a confidence that fuels you to play your best. He's a grinder since the day I met him at Ohio State.
You're going to see Jalen Ramsey come off the edge here, and Braylon Allen does a fantastic job picking it up to give Fields enough time to find the open Garrett Wilson.
That was the one question coming in offensively for the Jets. Could they throw it effectively from what you've seen so far?
So far, I think a great mix. They've given him the right opportunities, not asking him to do it all the time.
Brees Hall tried to loop it inside. 3-yard pickup to the 40. Check in with Evan.
Guys, this is not the start this high-priced Steelers defense was looking for. And after that last scoring drive, you can see the tension starting to boil a little bit on the sideline, including the head coach coming over for some strong words to both the secondary and the guys up front. TJ Watt getting in the mix as well. But we talked to them about this last night. Because of the additions, the experience, they feel like they can have those, let's call it, volatile discussions on the sideline, and it can be a positive. We'll see how they react.
Yeah, I think we heard them talk about those types of conversations that need to be had. And when you've given up 83 yards rushing already, you better have those conversations quickly.
2nd and 7. Crushed. TJ Watt. Shot out of a cannon.
That is one of those risks you take when you run the zone read. You are allowed to hit the quarterback even if he doesn't have the ball, because you just don't know.
Sean Elliott injured on the play. He was grabbing at his left knee. Is going to need assistance to get back to the Steelers sideline. Now he's going to walk it off on his own. So it was Hall who had the carry, and then Elliott right away knew that bodies had fallen on top.
Yeah, his cleat just got stuck in the turf a little bit there, and bodies bent everything backwards.
And it was Watt who blasted Justin Fields on the play, and immediately over to the blue tent is the veteran Deshaun Elliott. So former Jet Chuck Clark steps in to replace Elliott at that safety spot. This is now a 3rd and 9. Fields.
You saw TJ Watt switch sides there.
Fields rifles. It's caught. The timing was there for Tyler Johnson. Steelers made an aggressive play at the ball, and Fields nails Johnson for the first down.
Fields did a great job stepping up here. TJ Watt rushes up, gets a little bull rush. Fields finds a gap, steps up and delivers a strike. He's moving well, and he's throwing well.
So it was Juan Thornhill who had the coverage and went down on the play, which allowed Johnson to gain extra yards after the catch. We approach 5 minutes to play in this first half.
And that was Tyler Johnson, who was elevated today when Allen Lazard was made inactive.
Johnson won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This play whistled dead. And a timeout.
Flag is down.
Unless it was double zero.
No, too much time.
5-yard penalty, so first down.
So, run out of time. And a team that was the most penalized in the NFL last season
Much
just
time
its
for the
first
New York
penalty of
Jets.
the day.
It's good that we haven't talked about it so far, because that means what Aaron Glenn's been trying to change has been working. They were #1 in pre-snap penalties. This preseason, it was a major point of emphasis, and that being the first one today, so far is a good sign.
So, 1st and 15, move it back 5 yards. Fields sees an opening, takes it, and slides down.
This designed the whole way there. That's just a QB draw. Get 5 yards back, get it back to 2nd and 10, 2nd and manageable. Allow yourself to kind of get back in rhythm in terms of the sticks.
Justin Fields is in year 5. He was the 11th pick in 2021 of the Chicago Bears. Had the short stint with the Steelers last year. Was the starting quarterback. Wilson was injured. The team went 4-2, and then they made the switch, and they kept winning. But eventually, it didn't go the way that the Steelers would have hoped. A wild card loss to the Ravens, and Fields had to accept a much lesser role. Backup quarterback, and then would come in, spot duty on certain plays. Hall, a beautiful move by Hall. He got hit from behind to pick up 8.
And if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you pride yourselves on stopping the run. You got Cam Hayward, who just added to his deal yesterday. You got Keanu Benton there in the middle. You have TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, Patrick Queen, Logan Wilson. Like, you pride yourself on stopping the run. So when you get these gashes up the middle, that is concerning for sure.
Jets now face a 3rd and 1. Allen, short yardage situation is in there. And Fields slips. Steelers fully prepared. Peyton Wilson there to make sure Fields didn't get up.
So you're going to see Alex Highsmith. He's going to go down and take the dive. And then you've got Wilson, who's going to take Justin Fields. It's a perfect solution for it because no matter what he does, give or keep, somebody's covering.
And JJ, right now they're keeping the offense on the field.
Calculated aggressiveness.
Ball was at the 33. They would be looking at a 51-yard field goal. The range of Nick Folk is not what it once was, and it's the Steelers that take a timeout.
Pittsburgh.
You wonder if maybe they were going to try and draw him off sides there, but Justin Fields isn't known for his hard count, and from the gun, it makes it much more difficult. So I don't know if it would have been that. This could be one of those situations where, like Aaron Glenn was telling us, there's a little Dan Campbell influence, everything he's learned.
Now Nick Folk is making his way onto the field. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. JB, Nate, Matt Ryan, Coach Cowher, all the latest NFL scores and highlights. It's all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Are they really talking? Because you've been in those situations where we show them. Or are they just playing for the camera? Is that real conversation?
They're going over lunch orders. Going over lunch orders. Coach is a big club sandwich guy.
Yeah, club sandwich. That was my next question. So Folk made a 35-yarder. He missed an extra point.
A slightly underrated aspect of that is they just burned one of the Steelers' timeouts. So whether they were planning on going forward or not, they did take away a timeout for Aaron Rodgers to use if it gets under 2.
18-year veteran Nick Folk from 51 yards away. The kick from Folk, and he massages it through. Jets take a 19-10 lead.
Massages it.
A little bit. So the Jets do have points to show for another try. Got the lead.
YouTube TV continues later today on Fox and CBS, followed by Sunday Night Football on NBC, and concludes with Monday Night Football on ESPN and ABC. Then, Week 2 begins with Thursday Night Football on Prime Video. Stream games live on your mobile device with NFL Plus.
Welcome back. Jets in front, 19-10. Another season of the NFL means another season of slime time. And part of the deal, we will put you on TV if you're willing to wear the slime hat. You have to wear it for the entire week, though, not just here for the game.
That could go well in certain jobs.
Others, not so much. Kickoff from Fulton, and Caleb Johnson is going to take the knee, and it'll come out to the 35-yard line.
I love pass rushing, so I want to talk about these Jets pass rushers. Earlier in the game, we had Quentin Williams. All he did, put hands on, shed, and then get Aaron Rodgers to the sack, and then Will McDonald. This is power. This is the bull rush, back into the lap of the quarterback, make him step up, and then get the sack. Beautiful play. Will McDonald is from Wisconsin, went to Waukesha North, right down the road from my high school, then went on to Iowa State, so unfortunately I didn't get him at Milwaukee High School or the Wisconsin Badgers, but a phenomenal player, and it's really fun to see him come into his own as a pass rusher.
So far, no balance here for Pittsburgh. They have just 14 rushing yards. It's a team that was 11th in rushing last season at over 127 per game. Warren in there. Rodgers fakes it to him. That pass is high. It's handled. Metcalf, it's incomplete. Couldn't secure it. Sauce Gardner gets in there. NFL Today update. Back to Adam Shine.
All right, a lot of chatter about the Bengals needing to get off to a good start. Here's Joe Burrow to Noah Fant, newly acquired tight end. 14-7, Cincy in Cleveland. I and JJ, back to you.
Battle of Ohio right now. Bengals in front. Here, Pittsburgh and New York going head-to-head late stages of the second quarter. Long count for Rodgers. Rushes on. Rodgers gets rid of it. Finds the
What? Yes.
Calvin Austin. So that's been a question for the Steelers. Who other than DK Metcalf can be a part of the passing game at the wide receiver position?
Yeah, they really like Calvin Austin. He's fast, he's quick, he can be one of those lateral guys that works across the field, and here, he just finds an open soft spot in the zone, and Rodgers has time to hit him. Little pitch and catch, but they need to get this offense rolling a little bit. The run game hasn't been there, so now they're putting it on the pass.
It's good for 30 yards. Just like that, the Steelers are at the Jets' 35. Inside run, Warren slicing to the 28. Jalen Warren got a 2-year, $17.5 million extension, so the Steelers showing him they believe in him. Rodgers and the Steelers on the move. They're down on the scoreboard.
It's a minute warning.
The Jets leading the Steelers. Pittsburgh, they've got time to work with here. Time of possession in favor of the Jets.
Anytime you hit the 2-minute warning, you start looking at the timeout situation, how far you need to go, but this is an eternity. You don't even need to worry about any sort of 2-minute drill. Aaron Rodgers says the full offense has his disposal here.
It's a second down and 3. Gainwell in the backfield. Gainwell got a slow start off the line and then could not accelerate. Falls forward and sets up 3rd and short. Told by Quincy Williams.
If you get a stop here, Aaron Glenn certainly starts thinking about using his own timeouts. He's got 3 of them. Get the ball back in your guys' hands. A big play here.
Pittsburgh does get the ball to start the second half. If they can get a first down here, then chance to stack it up and a score and receive the kickoff of the third. Third down and 2. Rodgers extending, and it will be enough. Jonnu Smith with the grab of the first down.
Aaron didn't like what he saw originally, changed the play to a quick little hitter to Jonnu.
30 seconds timeout.
So a timeout taken. Jets use it. Aaron Rodgers is 9 of 12, 135 yards and a touchdown. And he mentioned it regarding tight ends, 4 of them. And he believes all 4 bring a little something different to the Steelers offense.
He said this is the best tight end room he's had in 21 years of playing. Now, part of that is due to the fact that he comes from an 11 personnel background where you just don't carry as many tight ends. But he went down the list, and every single one of these tight ends brings something to this offense that he loves. I mean, you see Darnell Washington, just a massive guy, obviously can block, but can also post up and catch fade balls in the end zone. You got Freiermuth, who's sneaky, a bit of a zone beater. He's really, really good at finding the zones. You got Jonnu, who can run after the catch. And then you got Connor Hayward, who's a bit of a jack of all trades. My brothers are going to be pissed at me for that.
A minute 12 to go. First down. Gainwell. Oh, he lost the ball, but jumps on top of it. He tried to turn it upfield. Gainwell is not a big body. He's 5'9", 200. And a timeout called by the Jets. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this from Under Armour.
This is a public service announcement to anyone out there.
Jets had only 17 takeaways last season, 7th fewest in the NFL. They were trying to get one there with Gainwell.
If you get stopped here and the Jets call another timeout, you can then run the clock down if you want to kick it with not that much time left. So I'm trying to figure out that strategy.
1:07 on the clock. Second down and 10 for the Steelers. Rodgers looks. Rodgers throws up in the air.
Das ist Kreuz, ja.
First and goal.
What a catch by Calvin Austin. You think of the Steelers offense and you think of DK Metcalf going up and mossing somebody. You don't necessarily first jump to Calvin Austin to be the one to go up and over. But what a grab.
50-50 ball won by Austin. Steelers in business. Handoff. Warren is still alone. No gain. 37 seconds on the clock. So the Steelers take the timeout. Pittsburgh is knocking on the door. We're back in 30 seconds after this.
$7 for a coffee? Nah. How about Sonic Salted Caramel Toffee Iced Coffee with cold foam for only $2.99? It's the fancy without the pricey.
Zach Frazier in the middle, and when you hear the name Pouncey thrown around at center for the Pittsburgh Steelers, that's a big deal. And you know Mike Tomlin doesn't throw it around lightly, and he did it with Frazier.
So much history at the center position in Pittsburgh. Second down and goal. Jonnu Smith on the pump pass.
Touchdown, yes.
Touchdown, Steelers. Arthur Smith is creative, and he makes the right call.
Well, they haven't had much success inside against Harrison Phillips and Quinnen Williams, so what do? They get their guy out on the edge. Jonnu Smith, they called him an unbelievable athlete, can do it all. Takes it to the pylon and in for the score.
The versatility of Smith.
I think he was short at the goal line.
He's now in year number 9. He's played for Tennessee, New England, Atlanta, Miami. Had his best season last year. 88 catches, 884 yards, 8 touchdowns, and playing a big role in his first half of football as a member of the Steelers.
And technically a touchdown pass for Aaron Rodgers.
No, it's Dan.
Extra point from Boswell. Rodgers is one of 5 quarterbacks all time with 500 career
kneel it out, take it into half, or if they get something going on the return and they let Justin Fields spin it a little bit, just one timeout in 32 seconds.
We have had one punt in the first half. It came from Pittsburgh. Gibson, return man from the 4. Gibson got ahead of steam, but then slowed down as he crossed the 30-yard line, and he's dropped at the 33 by Carson Bruner, whose dad, Mark Bruner, was the longtime tight end for the Steelers. Bruner making his NFL debut out of Washington. 27 seconds on the clock.
I said the kickoff would tell us a lot. It did not tell us a lot. They could kneel it, they could throw it up. I don't know what they're going to do here.
You know what? I respect that. You could have just gone silent. Instead, you referred to it. And we don't know. But it looks like they're going to at least look for something. Fields better look out. He does. Fields uncorks it, sideline. Catch made. And then Wilson out of bounds.
All right, so now you got a little chunk. You have one timeout left, 19 seconds. You can work the sidelines. Now you go.
So they pick up 8. Toe tap from Garrett Wilson.
That's what you did in the backyard every single day as a kid, right there.
Well, you did. I was playing video games.
Yeah, I clearly didn't catch enough from the stand as a receiver.
That's right.
To switch positions.
Fair point. Fields. Oh, he gets out of it again! But a lot of time coming off the clock, and Fields will just chip it away. Jalen Ramsey with a hit, and then a back and forth between the Jets and Steelers.
Oh, we got fights going on.
John Simpson of the Jets. Hayward's helmet is off. He's irate.
So as a coach, you're standing there.
Play was over. Personal foul. Offense number 76. 15-yard penalty. Down counts. Third down.
As a coach, you're standing there as Aaron Glenn, and he's mad about the penalty. At the same time, he is happy to see his offensive linemen sprint over and defend their quarterback. That's something that tells you what they think about him, what they think about the team, and how they're going to handle this season moving forward. When you're an enforcer like that, yes, you're definitely upset about the penalty. Yes, not that smart. Thankfully, in this situation, it really didn't hurt him that much. But what you like better is to see the team standing up for their guy.
So the back and forth afterwards, Simpson went over to let Ramsey know that he did not like the hit on the QB. They had not moved the ball. And now they will. Somebody figured it out.
Well, I was missing something there. So hang on a second here. Yeah, I would say now the ball is probably going to be nailed, and they'll take a 2-point lead into the half.
Well, then I think your analysis was spot on earlier.
Before the kick, yes,
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. 9 seconds on the clock. The penalty is what ended the Jets' hopes of maybe taking a shot downfield or getting into field goal range. Now facing a 3rd and 17 with 9 seconds left.
The halftime locker room speech has just got a little more fiery as well. You get that adrenaline going, you get a little fight.
There's a hole. Isaiah Davis. And at the 41, more.
And that's the
pushing
other
and
first
shoving at the end of the
half.
play.
Here's what
With Ian Eagle, J.J. Watt, Evan Washburn down on the sidelines. What's your headline coming out of that first half?
I would say the Steelers' inability to run the ball. You think that's always going to happen, but Harrison Phillips, Quentin Williams inside for the Jets have done a great job, and it's kind of hampered the Steelers' ability to open up the play action. On the other side, the Jets have done a phenomenal job.
And Mike Tomlin, the thing that he really talked about with us was he needed to see energy from his defense. In week 1, you know that not everything is going to be super smooth, but you've got to see a certain level of energy defensively. And it was potentially lacking early to the point where there were some words exchanged along the sideline trying to get everybody into it, but it did pick up towards the end of the half, and then we saw a lot of it at the end of the second quarter. Caleb Johnson, the return man, And the Steelers have the football to start this second half. Speaking of Mike Tomlin, moments ago, he spoke with our very own Evan Washburn.
Coach, both offenses moving the ball well in that first half. What do you need to do defensively to try and get them off the field?
We don't need to make the simple complex, man. Good defense, particularly early in the year, is about whooping blocks and making tackles. There's going to be some unforeseen schematics, and so those fundamentals got to carry us. We're not whooping enough blocks and making enough tackles. It's got to improve.
What are the coaching points for this first drive offensively?
We got an opportunity to book in the half and change this climate. We've been playing uphill a little bit, so we have an opportunity to change that. We got to seize it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jalen Warren gets the carry, keeps the legs churning, and picks up 9. First play from scrimmage in the second half.
Yeah, we talked about the first half Steelers not being able to run the ball that well. The beauty of halftime in the first game of the season is you get to go in and make some adjustments. And clearly, they saw something on that run play specifically, made an adjustment, and picked up a nice game. We'll see if they keep it rolling here in the second half.
Warren had 9 yards in the entire first half. He gained that on one play here in the third quarter. Give it to Warren again. And this time he stopped at the line of scrimmage by Quentin Williams. The name keeps popping up.
He is an all-pro formerly for a reason. Harrison Phillips, when he got here, said, I think he was an underrated player, which you say, how could he be underrated as an all-pro? He said, that's how high I believe his ceiling is. He just stacks the block, sheds it, makes the tackle, and now the Steelers thought they might have an easy first down on 2nd and 1. Are sitting at 3rd and 2 and have to pick it up.
And once again, they go to Kenneth Gainwell in the backfield, who will shift out of there to the line of scrimmage. Shotgun formation for Rodgers. Play clock is down to 0-0. And flags are down.
Okay. Offense number 8. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
And that's an error.
Flush side
He's
for the
looking at
set.
the officials
Don't
saying, hey,
feel it
try to get that
again.
timeout, and Bill Vinovich not having it, not getting the vet move of calling it as it hits 0. So now we got 3rd and it's called 7, and these Jets pass rushers got Jermaine Johnson, who's coming back off the Achilles injury. They're excited to see what he can do. Will McDonald already has a sack, and Quinnen showing what he can do so far.
We asked Sauce Gardner, what do you do against Aaron Rodgers? You know, he said, don't try to be a superhero against him. He'll try to get you to do things that he wants you to do. Rodgers hit as he throws. The pass bounces to his intended target. Jermaine Johnson. You just mentioned him.
Yep.
And the contact with Rodgers to disrupt the play. It's 4th down.
A nasty spin move here. Right here on the right side, you got Jermaine Johnson, spins inside, gets up in Aaron's face. He can't do anything about it. When Aaron got to the Jets, Jermaine Johnson said, I'm bummed I can't sack you now. And then when Aaron left, he was very excited that he might have the opportunity. Just missed it there.
So from 2nd and 1 to 4th and 6, no rush once again for the Jets on this punt. Wakeman gets all of it. And fair catch called for just across the 15-yard line. Gibson secures it. Jets up 2 with the ball.
restrictions for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
MetLife Stadium opened back in 2010. This is the 16th year as the home of the Jets and the New York Giants. Right now, the home team is in front, 1917 against the Steelers. 29th all-time meeting, Steelers 21-7 against the Jets. Protection is held up throughout for New York. Armand Membu making his NFL debut, old-fashioned now manning the left side, so they invested first-round picks back-to-back years at tackle. Take the handoff, Fields with a rush coming, it's the foot.
Oh, nearly pissed off.
It was right there for the taking. Keanu Benton could not haul it in. Incomplete.
Fields goes under center for the first play of the second half, which is something we didn't see him do a whole lot in the first half. They go with the play action after running the ball so well. Highsmith gets his hand up, knocks it down. Or Cam gets his hand up, knocks it down.
Second and 10 for New York. Pistol formation. Paul bounces to the outside and veers out of bounds. Contact there with Darius Slay.
Take a look at Justin Fields in the first half here. He's been used in many different ways. Designed run with his own read where he can get out on the edge. Here, he's going to escape up the middle, and you think he's a runner, but he does a great job keeping his eyes down the field and completing the pass. And then sometimes you just have to take the deep shot. And they had success with the shot to Garrett Wilson for the touchdown. You have to wonder, when are they going to go back to that play to see if the Steelers got that correct?
Got some injury updates. We'll check in with Evan. Justin Fields on a 3rd and 9 for New York. Wilson, the motion man. Fields, the throw. Wilson tried the catch and curl, but look at the Steelers. They get to the football in a hurry and bring down Wilson, led by Thornhill and Ramsey.
We heard them talk about Jalen Ramsey and the way he practices, the intensity that he practices with, and you can see the swarm here by the entire defense. Off the field, give the offense the ball back.
And JJ, it's the first punt of the day for the Jets and their rookie punter, Austin McNamara out of Texas Tech. That one hangs. Austin gets out of the way. Ball bounces in the air. And the Jets did not allow the second bounce, and a flag comes down.
We got another fight going on.
Spilled over into the third, and multiple flags.
This is where it's tough, you know. You got all that emotion and energy from the scuffles at the end of the first half. Just can't let it spill
Back
over.
for the play. Personal foul. Kicking. Correct. Receiving team number 83. 15-yard penalty. First down. Timeout.
Yeah, you're going to get that one all the time.
It is Connor Hayward called for the penalty. So the Steelers, instead of having outstanding field position, they'll back it up a bit. Third quarter action continues here on CBS.
Okay, Nate, it's just one smile, okay? One smile, and then we can go home, okay?
is sponsored by Progressive. Coverage you can count on. Progressive.com. AT&T. Connecting changes everything. And by FanDuel. Play your game.
Jets holding on to a 19-17 lead over the Steelers. Pittsburgh would have had the ball at the 38-yard line. The 15-yard penalty sets them back to the 23. 11:27 to go in this third quarter.
I think back to that last drive the Steelers had. They start out with a 9-yard run. Get excited about it coming out of the half. You finally have some success. And then that stop by Quinn Williams just absolutely stalled the drive for him, forced him to punt. So I'm very curious to see how this goes. But so far, Quinn Williams, a former All-Pro, a star, stepping up to the plate here in the first game.
Yeah, right now Williams is watching from the sidelines. Steelers still in their huddle. The officials have been engaged with Mike Tomlin for an extended period of time, and now they're over on the Aaron Glenn sideline. Aaron Glenn, Mike Tomlin, same age. They're both 53. Glenn, his first year as a head coach in the NFL. Tomlin, his 19th year as a head coach. Different paths to the same position.
It was really interesting talking to them this week about delegating duties as a former defensive coordinator turned head coach, and when you decide to stick your hand in and maybe call a blitz, and when you just let your guys go. And they each had slightly different philosophies on it, but very, very interesting to have those conversations.
Aaron Glenn had a very successful 15-year playing career in the NFL. Mike Tomlin went into coaching just after getting out of William & Mary as a wide receiver. The throw, Rodgers, nearly intercepted. Michael Carter, the second, had a beat on it. The intended target, Calvin Austin. Check in with Evan Washburn.
A couple updates on first pass injuries, guys. Kene Nwangwu is out for the Jets with a hamstring injury, and starting safety Deshaun Elliott also out with a knee, and that's where Jalen Ramsey's positional versatility really helps. He can move from nickel to corner to safety. Also some more Chuck Clark here in the second half for Pittsburgh.
And Nwangwu, a core special teamer for the Jets. Second and 10. Now the sun is out here in East Rutherford. Looking for the gun. Gainwell gets the call. Gainwell turns it upfield and then gets smashed after the gain of 5. Sherwood collaborating with Cisco. NFL Today update. Over to Adam Shaw.
What year is this? We have a Joe Flacco touchdown pass. Flacco to Sid Tillman. 5 yards. Extra point, no good. Ian, back to you.
Well, the year's 2025, and Aaron Rodgers just airmailed one over the head of Jonnu Smith, setting up 4th and 5.
They went quick. That's exactly why they went quick. Trying to catch him, Aaron Rodgers, the savvy vet, 21 years in, knew what he was doing, saw him trying to sub. Caught the Jets with too many men on the field.
Aaron Rodgers is hyper aware of everything going on at one time. And you just saw on top of the screen, the 12th man trying to get off the field. Rodgers got the snap, got a free play out of it, knew he was going to get the first down either way. So the penalty moves the chains for Pittsburgh. Now operating at the Steelers' 34. Fit the run. Rodgers devoured. Will McDonald once again.
A guy they feel could really continue to break out. Will McDonald just finds his way in the backfield once again, up and under the inside of Broderick Jones, and Aaron has no choice but to lay down as he sees him coming in. Just a great pass rush for his second sack of the day on Will McDonald.
And the third New York sack of the afternoon. McDonald finished with 10.5 sacks last season. Quick snap, Rodgers, quick throw. He sandwiched it in between two defenders to Freiermuth. It's good for 7 yards. Gardner in on the hit with Williams.
Those negative plays just put you in such a tough situation. Now, even after a completion, you're sitting at 3rd and 12. The pass rushers know they can kind of get after a little bit, so they're pinning their ears back. Do you run a draw or a little screen to try and catch them as they rush up the field, or do you throw something further down the field?
Arthur Smith, offensive coordinator, his second year, was the head coach in Atlanta for 3 years. Rodgers, dump off, catch made, but not nearly enough for Dino. 5 yards on the pass, and now the punting unit comes on for Pittsburgh.
Steve Wilks and his Jets defense, obviously with an Aaron Glenn thumbprint on it. But Wilks, who's been out of NFL football for a year after being the D coordinator for the 49ers in the Super Bowl, getting his feet wet again and doing a good job.
And when you asked Aaron about it, he said, look, on game day, I'm here to assist and support. If I see something that's glaring, of course I'm going to let it be known, but I'm also going to encourage my coordinators. Gibson kicks to the sideline and takes a shot right at the end of the play. So the Jets will have possession after the 50-yard punt, 19-yard return, come through the special team stop. You're watching NFL Kickoff, presented by TV. Sunday of the season, fans around the world are coming together for today's match. These are fans in Manchester, United Kingdom. On hand, the Steelers and the Jets. The NFL's reach is truly global.
Shout out Burnley, 40 minutes outside Manchester, up to Clarence.
Anything you want to add to it?
It's a Premier League squad.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know, very proud of our boys over there in Clarence.
We'll have updates for you throughout the season. And off to Braylon Allen. And he's spun down immediately by Alex Highsmith. Read it perfectly for no game. So the numbers, Aaron Rodgers, 13 of 18 in his Steelers debut, 171 yards, 2 touchdowns. Justin Fields in his Jets debut, 10 of 13, 140 yards, and a touchdown. Fields has 30 yards on the ground.
Yeah, it hasn't been the passing game that's really been the issue or the separator here so far. It's been the rushing game. The Jets have been able to find a way to get it going on the ground, and the Steelers haven't quite so far.
And better defense in this third quarter compared to the first half. Yep. Thanks for the answer. Yep. Good validation. That's all I was looking for. It's a handoff to Hall. And Breece Hall works his way across the 35, picks up 5. Hall got off to such a hot start, back-to-back plays on the first possession of the day. 11 carries, 55 yards for Hall, 2 catches, 38 yards.
He came into the season without a new contract, so after the season, he's an unrestricted free agent. He knows he has a little bit of that chip on his shoulder. Always a competitor, of course, and dynamic, versatile. Looking forward to taking advantage of his opportunities this year.
He is in year 4 with the Jets. Braylon Allen is in year 2. And they're going to go empty here with Fields from the gun. On 3rd down and 5, Fields, connection game over the middle to Ruckert. Ruckert's been a bit of a forgotten man now in his 4th year at tight end. They drafted Mason Taylor. But Ruckert's still a part of this. Picks up 11 yards and a 1st down.
Good job by Justin Fields, just scanning, seeing what the defense gives him. Ruckert gives a little separation across the middle, and right in the line of vision of Fields, delivers the ball.
So 4 tight ends on this roster as well, just like the Steelers, but 1 inactive, Jelani Woods, who they picked up off of waivers from Indianapolis. It's Taylor, Ruckert, and Smart active today at tight end for New York. Ball back in there, gets the call. Breece Hall. Strong cut. Another Jets 1st down. 16 yards. Chuck Clark in for Deshaun Elliott with the stop.
We're going to see a really nice cut here off Olu Fachanu's block. Breece just sticks his foot in the ground, gets north and south, and pierces into the heart of the defense. Big hole there for him to run through.
He's looking for his first career 1,000-yard rushing season. In his rookie year, he averaged 5.8 yards per carry. 1st down now at the 36, and penalty flag. And that has not been an issue thus far for the Jets.
If you're averaging 5 yards a carry, you need ball more.
False start. Offense number 16. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
And it's the wide receiver, Tyler Johnson. So back it up for New York to the 40-yard line of the Steelers.
Just barely early. We talked about it a little bit in the 1st half last year, the undisciplinedness of the Jets. 1st in penalties, 1st in missed tackles. So I believe that's only their 2nd today from a pre-snap standpoint.
Yes. They do have 128 rushing yards. Pittsburgh has 37 yards on the ground. And it's Hall. He's got a hole. He's got acceleration. 1st down, Jets. Inside the Pittsburgh 25, Darius Slay with the tackle. That's a 17-yard gain for Hall.
And something we've been looking to see, you have Breece and Braylon in the backfield at the same time. They hand it to Breece, and he finds a huge lane for a massive 1st down.
Again, no Vera Tucker out for the season. Tickman shifts over to right guard. Myers starting at center, former starter with the Green Bay Packers, and it's working.
This drive, they are finding success in that left B gap, which is the gap between the left guard and the left tackle.
This time it's Allen. And Allen runs into a wall. T.J. Watt ready for him. No gain on the play.
Try the right side there after having success on the left and nothing doing. Interesting, last year, teams that ran at T.J. Watt only gained 3.2 yards per carry, which was number 1 in the NFL. And running away from him, they gained 5 yards a carry, which was the 8th most in the NFL.
So it's the rookie today, so we asked him about Armand Membu, and I asked him, hey, do you watch tape from college? He said, no, it doesn't translate. It's not going to help. So watched a bunch of the preseason. Membu did play in all 3 preseason games. 2nd and 10. Fields sensing the pressure. He's going to throw it. Catch made. Turning upfield. Garrett Wilson. He's brought down at the 2-yard line. He tried to lunge his body.
What a play. And I have to tell you, what I've been most impressed with so far with Justin Fields is his movement in the pocket while keeping his eyes downfield. In the past, he might tuck that ball and run and see what he can get. Here, he keeps his eyes downfield and finds his guy. Beautiful play.
1st and goal. Fields trying to do it himself. with the score. Touchdown, Jets. A statement drive for New York here in the third quarter.
12 for 15, 173, a tud, a rushing tud. Justin Fields put on a show.
We asked Fields about Aaron Glenn. He said he laid out what kind of team he wants us to be. The DNA has to be disciplined, play smart, play violent football, dominating the run game and the play action passing game. We've seen that. The Jets now in front 25-17 with an extra point coming from Folk. Well, we asked Justin about going against his Pittsburgh D. He said, I know them better than they know what we're going to do. So he felt good about it. Just because they're the Steelers. They're going to do it the way that they do it. Yeah, Mike Tomlin. Garrett Wilson nearly got in, but he got them close enough for Justin Fields. Extending the ball. Touchdown, New York.
Let's go, bud. Hurry up. Come on.
Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Being on the road, I don't think it's a job. I think it's a calling.
Sunday, October 19th, part of CBS Premiere Week. NFL on CBS is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's knows Sunday hits different when you've earned it. And by Taco Bell.
Now, Fireman Ed is here. The JETS chants have been working in this second half. Jets have a 26-17 lead over the Steelers. Folk kicks it off. Rookie return man Caleb Johnson from the 4. And Johnson is chucked down as he crosses the 30-yard line. Tonight, for the first time ever, the MTV VMAs are on CBS. LL Cool J hosts the iconic, most unpredictable music event right here on CBS, live after the games. Starting like Marvin with the VMAs.
All right, this Jets crowd has come to life. I think earlier in the game I said it might have been 50-50. It seems a little more 70-30, 75-25. They have come to life. They like what they see. Maybe they were a little cautious early on to see how this team was going to look, but right now they're proud of them and they're giving them some support.
Single setback is Jalen Warren. Pitch it. It's Caleb Johnson. And Johnson with a flag down. He tried to circle
Flag is
towards the
down.
sideline. The Jets got excellent pressure. Penalty marker on the play.
Personal foul.
Yep, that is.
Yes!
So Aaron Glenn, who preaches aggressiveness and violence, the problem is not when the running back is along the white of the sideline. Illegal.
Last year, we talked about earlier, undisciplined football, the most penalties, most penalty yards, most drops, most missed tackles. Those are the things Aaron Glenn wants to clean up. They asked him this week, what will you consider a successful season? He said, if our fans watch our team and they're proud, that's success for me because I know that means the wins are following me.
That would have been a loss of 2 on the play. Instead, the Steelers are now at the 45-yard line. Johnson remains in there. Rodgers is going to throw it and bounces off the intended receiver. DK Metcalf matched up with Sauce Gardner. One thing that stood out in our chat with Sauce Gardner, he mentioned meetings this year, the corners and the safeties meet together in the same room. That's never happened for Sauce before in a Jets uniform.
Yeah, and he talked about how that's helped their chemistry, and they're seeing the game through the same set of eyes. And he talked about Aaron Glenn being a defensive back in the league and his ability to coach him hard because he knows exactly what he's seeing because he's been there before.
3:19 to go in the third. It's a second down and 10 for the Steelers. Rodgers in the pocket, off his back foot. He hits Jalen Warren, and Warren's got room to the sideline. First down.
Stevens slipped a little bit there, trying to come out of the break, which allowed for a little bit more run after the catch. You're going to see 21 Stevens. After Warren catches this ball, he's going to slip right there, which just allows Warren that extra little gap to pick up the first down.
First catch of the day for Warren. It covers 17 yards. And now the Steelers have worked it into Jets territory at the 38. Under 3 minutes to go in the third. Warren remains in there. Quick snap. The hole opened and it closed, and Warren sideways his way through for a gain of 3.
Sideways is it. That's a good way to put it. That's exactly what he did. He was kind of sidestepping, almost a half spin, per se.
Enough to move the ball in the right direction for Pittsburgh. Now a 2nd and 7. Rodgers fires it. It's complete. DK Metcalf makes his move and out of bounds. Tony Adams out there on an island with Metcalf. That's 18 yards through the air.
When you have a receiver like DK coming across the field like that from all the way on the other side, sometimes you can get a little lost as you're passing him off between zones, and that's exactly what happened here. DK comes across, somebody gets miscommunication somewhere along the line, and he's wide open for his quarterback to hit him.
I've seen Quinton Williams on the field this drive for the Jets. He's been wreaking havoc here this afternoon. It's been Jawan Briggs, the former Cleveland Brown. Warren out on the perimeter. The Jets there to stop him. It's a 3-yard pickup. So Williams just watching from the sideline with a helmet on.
Sometimes it's just catching your breath. Sometimes it's getting other guys some reps, but you have to imagine as long as he's good, there's no reason he wouldn't be back out there soon. Playing defensive lineman can be tiring. I don't know if you're aware.
Gotta trust you on that one. Got 50 seconds to go. First half. Third quarter. Warren.
He sideways it again.
Again, that's part of his repertoire right now. Warren's a bowling ball at 5'8", 215. Now that's a 5-yard pickup.
There it is.
Yep.
3rd and 1. Now, I'm a big believer. I do not like going shotgun in 1-yard to go situations. That's just me personally. But of course, it's going to work out fantastically.
On cue. Yep. And Warren is slammed down. He's got enough for the first down. Jamie and Sherwood with the tackle. Words exchanged. Jones and Sherwood having a conversation, and that will
That's
be
the other quarter, number 3.
The Steelers 17 start the fourth quarter. I'm Eagle, J.J. Watt, Evan Washburn, the rest of our NFL on CBS crew, producer Ken Maddox, Suzanne Smith, our director, Mike Tomlin, and the Steelers trying to cut into this Jets advantage. They've got a first and goal at the 5. Quinn Williams is back in for the Jets. Wide open.
Touchdown, yes!
Center, you fake the handoff, you don't even have to fake it really. Jalen Warren just slips out into the flat. Too tough to cover from that middle linebacker position by Sherwood. And it's a walk-in touchdown for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's an Arthur Smith special right there.
When we asked Aaron about Arthur Smith, he said our personalities have meshed really well, spent a lot of time together. He's creative, loves input. Their process is very streamlined and collaborative.
Got a good ball game here.
26-24 Jets. Remember, Jets had missed an extra point, but there was a penalty, so they put the ball at the 1, went for 2, didn't get it, and currently a 2-point differential. And Rodgers now within 2 touchdowns of catching Brett Favre on the all-time passing touchdown list.
I think he's going to get there.
Yeah. Feel pretty good about it. It was interesting just talking to Aaron last night and the change of scenery. He said he knew day 1 of minicamp that this was the right fit.
Yeah, you've heard him talking about Mike Tomlin and just coming into that building, the amount of respect he has for Mike Tomlin. And just about every single player you talk to around the league seems to have the same sentiment about Tomlin as It's the way he handles his business. It's the way he talks to the guys. And it was really interesting hearing Tomlin talk about how to handle such a veteran-laden team, because he said these guys have heard it all before. I can't tell them the sky is green and have them believe me. So I have to challenge myself to be a better coach, and he's really enjoyed that.
Kick from Boswell. Gibson returning.
Football. Yes, the defense got it.
Gets a hand on the ball. Skoranek right there to cover it up. What a change. You felt the Steelers fans, the terrible towels come alive. Massive momentum changer here in MetLife.
And Mike Tomlin's squad with a chance to pounce on it now. They take over at the Jets' 23-yard line. Keep in mind as well, Longu goes out with a hamstring injury. He probably would have been the return man in that situation.
Really,
not Gibson.
Really good point, Diane.
First down for the Steelers. 2-point lead for the Jets. Warren in the backfield. Give it to him. Warren. Extra cut. And spun down inside the 20. So that's a gain of about 3.
Skoranek, big day. Opens it up with a touchdown, gets the fumble recovery here. Fun fact, thanks to Ken, our producer, his uncle is Trent Green. So, there you go. Exciting.
The takeaways from last season, this is Pittsburgh Steelers football. 33 of them. Tied for first with Minnesota. He had 17 interceptions. Kick the hand up. Rodgers under arrest.
Touchdown, yeah.
Again, you give it up to Arthur Smith. A little play action. Calvin Austin just slips. Brandon Stevens there. Finds an open corner in the end zone. And of course, Rodgers is going to put it right on him for the touchdown. Great play design, great execution by the Steelers offense.
That is 4 touchdowns for Aaron Rodgers. Boswell curls it through. 14 points in the last 50 seconds. And the momentum swing coming from the fumble on the kickoff return by Gibson.
flavor. Chipotle for real. And by Geico. Switch and save. Get more with Geico.
Potential game-changing plays. The Jets just suffered a turnover on the return by Gibson. The Steelers turn that into 7 points. Gibson gets another crack at it here. Spun and down just short of the 34-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, last 4 season openers. These are not great memories for Aaron Rodgers. At the Saints in 21, a loss. At the Vikings in 22, of course, the torn Achilles against Buffalo here at MetLife in 23, and then last season at San Francisco, a 32-19 loss. Rodgers today, 17 of 23, 229 yards, 4 touchdowns. First player with 4 passing touchdowns in consecutive games on different teams. It's Breece Hall. Takes it to the 45-yard line, and that is enough for a first down, and cracks 100 yards rushing on the day.
And I'm really excited to see the response from this Jets team on this drive right here. They're a young team. They have a new coaching staff. They have a new quarterback. They just had a massive momentum shift. How do they respond? This is a chance for them to take the game and show their fans and say, this is who we are going to be this year.
159 rushing yards for the Jets today. We still have 13:22 to go here in the fourth. Motion man is Garrett Wilson. Keep it on the ground. The spin. And the ball is slowed down.
Down for loss. Yes.
First one there. It's a loss of 4.
Just flashes inside. The tight end's trying to block down on him. He comes through that C gap between the tackle and the tight end and is in the backfield almost at the same time as the handoff. Not much doing there for your Breece Hall to get away.
And I must amend my earlier statement. He was at 100 yards. He is now at 96 yards.
All right, we can make the announcement again here in a couple minutes. That's all it takes. 2 for the price of 1. Just like that with ice cream.
Want to be factual. 2nd and 14. Shotgun for Fields. Fields. Direct target over the middle. He puts some mustard on it to the veteran Josh Reynolds. It's going to be short of the first down. Fields let it rip.
I can tell you, it's been a bad game for anybody who likes to say Justin Fields is just a running quarterback. He's looked great in the pocket, delivered some strikes, kept his eyes downfield.
Breece Hall picks up 3 yards. They needed a yard. It's a first down for the Jets. We send it to Evan Washburn.
And Justin Fields is picking apart that secondary that's now down Joey Porter Jr. No injury designation as of now, but he doesn't have his helmet. He's been stretching out that left leg. Already lost to Sean Elliott for this game. Guys, this is that time in week 1, game 1, where they have not played this amount of live ball, and you start to see guys go down, whether it's cramping or muscle pulls, and that's a huge loss right now for the Steelers defense.
Evan, that's a really good point. Talking about it being the first game, guys haven't played a full game, especially if you didn't get the preseason reps.
Fields finds his man downfield. He just tossed it to Mason Taylor, the rookie from LSU, for 20 yards, his first career catch.
We've been waiting to see it all day. The coaches, the players, everybody has talked about Mason Taylor. They said he's everything you want in a football player. He's smart, he's savvy, he's smooth. He's obviously got the pedigree. Great pitch and catch there. Have a feeling Jets fans are going to be seeing Mason Taylor catch the ball for a long time.
His father, Hall of Famer Jason Taylor, actually played a year for the Jets in 2010. His uncle, Zach Thomas, the outstanding linebacker from the Dolphins. Fields, shake and bake. And Fields gets the angle. High kicks it to the sideline, chased by Patrick Queen. So that's 4.5 yards for Fields.
That's the danger with him, is he can just, at any time he wants to, you saw it there, he outran Patrick Queen to the sideline there.
I know last year was a small sample size for Justin Fields, but if you just look at the numbers, his completion percentage has gone up each year he's been in the league. And today, season opener, he's 14 of 17.
Development. Time to develop. We're in a pressure cooker world today where we want everything to be microwave to success, to take a Mike Tomlinism. He's just growing and learning.
Second down and 5. It's Hall. The defense had committed, and you could feel the pressure coming, but Hall got around it to at least turn it into a 4-yard gain. Tackle made by Peyton Wilson.
They've been having success running the ball to the left side, behind that left side of the O-line. Olu Fashanu, John Simpson. You got to give credit to that Jets offensive line. You know, they had to shuffle around a little bit with Elijah Vera Tucker going out, and they've done a really, really good job running the ball today against a notoriously strong run defense.
And Hall is back over 100 yards. This is the 8th play of the drive. Braylon Allen is in there. Short yardage situation. 3rd and a long 1. Fake it to Allen. Fields. Hurdles for the first down. He got hit from the side and a flag down. Another
Flag
flag.
is down.
Bill Vinovich in his 20th season as a referee. 2 stints.
Personal foul. Low block. Offense number 5. 15-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
And that is a crusher
Yes.
for the Jets. Garrett Wilson.
Correction. Fouls on the defense. Half the distance to go.
What a switch. That is not a crusher for the Jets. It's the other way. Jalen Ramsey. Quite the opposite.
That was like a WWE heel turn. The ref just switched the emotions in this entire building. Wow.
And Mike Tomlin,
Man.
just shared his opinion with the official on the near sideline.
See, that's an interesting one there because he's going in, and yes, he does have to go through Braylon Allen to get to Justin Fields, so he starts to go low. Man, I understand the difficulty there as a DB.
1st and goal at the 5. Timeout taken.
First time timeout. New York. 30-second timeout.
All right, let's bring in Gene's territory. Just watch the sequence of replays. Gene, what'd you see?
Timeout call by
I think
Aaron
that's what Coach Palmer was
Glenn.
saying too. And JJ was alluding to it. You know, Ramsey is trying to make, to me, it looks like he's attempting to make a tackle. He's not traditionally like going directly through this blocker in a low block area, which would be a foul. But in the attempt to tackle a runner like that, you can see him trying to avoid that low hit right there in an attempt to reach. That's a tight call, and look, they're trying to protect the low blocking, but here, to me, it looks like Ramsey's trying to avoid the offensive block and go low to make a tackle. In those situations, you can pass on that and not call a low block.
I'm with you there, Gene, because I see his shoulder pad go around the knee of Braylon, and if Fields wasn't so close, I could understand it, but Fields is directly behind Braylon Allen there. So what's Ramsey's other option? He's going to stand up and possibly get run over by Braylon Allen. That's a tough one to put on a DB there, I understand.
They were going to get the first down. So it did obviously place the football at the 5, but it was also the drama of the fact that the initial call was against the Jets, and then the instant reaction and change. Night play of the drive. 1st and goal at the 5. Again. And Hall falls forward for 1. Highsmith combining with Wanye Black, talented rookie out of Iowa, 5th round pick. Injury to Derek Harmon, so not active today. Harmon, the rookie out of Oregon, 1st round pick. Harmon dealing with an MCL sprain. 172 yards on the ground for the Jets. That is a change of identity in quick fashion.
It's exactly what he said he wanted to accomplish, and to come out of the gate that strong, doing what your new head coach has asked you to do, he has to be incredibly proud so far today.
Shotgun, Fields. Fake it, and Fields under a heavy
Yes.
Alex Highsmith gets to the quarterback.
Olu Fashanu had not given up a sack in his entire college career, but he's going to give one up here to Alex Highsmith. He just comes up and under so quick, right inside. A little bit of a quick set out, overset by Fashanu. Highsmith, a savvy vet, takes advantage of it underneath. and takes Fields down.
Garrett Wilson was well covered. Fields didn't have the time either way, but there was nothing available for him. This is now a 3rd and goal. Back it up to the 10. We're down to 7.5 to play in the 4th. Fields steps up. Fields looking to run. Fields has room. Can he get there? No! Now what do you do? Brandon Echols, the former Jet, saves a touchdown.
Oh, he tried for the Superman, for the pylon, just didn't get there, but, I mean...
So we're going to place the ball at the 1.
Yep.
And there is an injured Jet on the play. That's why we have a stoppage here.
I think it might be Cam Hayward.
Oh, no, an injured Steeler.
Yeah.
Cam Hayward, longtime Steeler, 7-time Pro Bowler, playing his 212th career game. That's the most by a Steelers defensive player all time. He was in a contract hold-in where he was in camp, he was with the team, but was not participating all the time. They ended up coming to an agreement, got some incentives tied to the playoffs. That came out yesterday. We asked Mike Tomlin, he said, well, you got on the plane. I knew we were okay.
Yep. Cam's one of those guys that he doesn't need a lot of reps to be ready to go. He's a vet, knows what he's doing. Walter Payton, Man of the Year. Pittsburgh Steeler.
And now decision time for the Jets.
I mean, just sneak it. I mean, I'm a big believer. They've had a couple successes so far today with the quarterback sneak. You got 1 yard to go. You talk about being tough, physical, that offensive line. Tell them, let's put this on your shoulders, guys. Let's punch this ball in. No Cam in the middle for this play.
It is 4th and goal, and the ball is just shy of the 1. Tight formation. Timeout. Pittsburgh.
First time, timeout. Pittsburgh.
Possibility for, you have the speed of Justin Fields, fake the handoff, naked all the way to the edge.
Saturday, it's once again big time at 3:30 Eastern. USC hits the road to take on Purdue. We'll get you set for kickoff beginning at 2:30. College football today. The Big Ten is on CBS and is streaming on Paramount Plus. You know, that philosophy, he had a 2-point try earlier at the 1. They tried to run inside to Braylon Allen. He got stuck. We know that Fields has the ability. We've seen it in this game of getting inside and it's having the athleticism to get across the goal line.
It's so difficult to stop a quarterback sneak, no matter how. They can tell you it's coming. Like, look at the Eagles, obviously. They have the most success, but as a defensive lineman, they know the snap count. You don't. That's the little advantage they need for it to be so successful.
4th and goal from the 1. Hall in the backfield. Fake it, and it's Fields.
There it is.
By himself for the touchdown. Jets take the lead.
Just so fast. Just so fast. Take the handoff. Everybody's obviously committed to the inside run. And then Fields, easy walking. He knows it right away. High step your way in there.
12 plays, 65 yards. John Simpson was the injured Jet on the play, and he's being escorted to the sideline. Jets will go for 2 here. They have a 1-point lead. Second rushing touchdown of the day for Fields. He's got 1 through the air, 2 on the ground. We have 7:01 to play in the 4th quarter. What a battle.
Just a great football game. Week 1, what more could you want? Teams going back and forth. You got scoring. You have storylines with the quarterbacks switching teams. This is fun.
Going for 2, up by 1. And a timeout called by the Jets. Play clock was down to 1.
New York. 30 seconds timeout.
Tough spot to have to use one there, obviously.
Yeah, you can tell Aaron Glenn was ticked off, but you know,
it's important 2 points.
Maintaining his emotion as well, recognizing that everyone's getting on the same page. It's a season opener.
But you think about this game and how back and forth it's been. Now you got 7 minutes left, and who knows, if it keeps going back and forth, you have the ball with under 2 minutes left, and you could really use that one. That's definitely one to watch as we go towards the end of the game.
Yeah, potentially costly on a 2-point try. They were going to run out of time. So 1 timeout remaining for the Jets, 2 left for the Steelers. Cameron Hayward is back for Pittsburgh. Two-point try. Fields operating from the gun. Snap it to him. Fields to throw it. High in the air. Back in the end zone. And incomplete.
Did not get it.
Was in the area along with other Pittsburgh defenders to make sure Garrett Wilson couldn't haul it in. The high step from Fields for the touchdown. The Jets take the lead, but only by 1. 2-point try nullified. The amazing shots of today's game are provided by Nationwide. Back here at MetLife, tight one, the Jets and the Steelers. The kickoff here from Folk, with the Jets now leading at 32-31. Return man Gainwell from the 5. Gainwell makes a cut. Gainwell slowed down a bit, still on his feet, and then gang tackled as he crossed the 35-yard line. Ian Eagle along with J.J. Watt, Evan Washburn down on the sidelines. J.J., watch your head. I feel very concerned for you right now. This has been fantastic football to open the season.
It's been a phenomenal game. It's been back and forth. There's been points. Everything has been happening. I think for Jets fans, something they're proud to see is there was a 14-point swing there, and momentum clearly went the Steelers' way. But all the Jets did was methodically put themselves back in this football game, and that old phrase, same old Jets, currently not applying.
Steelers take over with 6:53 on the clock and open up at the 37-yard line. Rodgers, a quick throw, but Kenneth Gainwell, he got suffocated by Sherwood. It's a loss, a big one on the play of nearly 6 yards.
Great job here by last year's leading tackler. Jamien Sherwood just sheds his block and lays a nice physical hit, clean. Oh yeah.
Sherwood was rewarded big contract, 3 years, $45 million during the offseason. He has emerged as one of the leaders of this defense. The ball is 2nd and 15 now for Pittsburgh. We approach 6 minutes to go. Shotgun, Rodgers rushes on again, and Rodgers nearly intercepted. It goes through the hands of Brandon Stephens, the free agent pickup from Baltimore.
Immediate pressure from Will McDonald on the left tackle, just another spin move. And then Brandon Stephens, oh so close, just off the hands. And here is Will McDonald after the spin, laying a hit on Rodgers.
Crowd is into it.
Jets had everybody up. Are they going to bring them all, or are they going to bail everybody out? Bring it.
3rd and 15. Rodgers
on it.
He's got it. Quincy Williams. Rodgers held to his feet. That was a futile set of downs for the Steelers.
Gainwell had a great block to start, but Quincy Williams just fought through it and sacks Aaron Rodgers big time here. This place is buzzing once again. The Jets have brought the momentum all the way back in their favor.
High-low action with Briggs, Williams, and Williams. And the punt from Waitman. Didn't get all of that. The Steeler bounce, and then Gibson just ducks out of bounds, not taking any chances. Penalty marker on the play. 5:21 mark of the 4th. Jets are going to get the football, leading by 1. 382 yards of offense for the Jets. 182 on the ground. Bill Vinovich.
Carrying the kick. Illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 37.
Yes.
Penalty. First down.
That is Quantez Stiggers. It's been a wild one here at MetLife. Aaron Rodgers, in his return, taking on his former team, has thrown for 4 touchdowns. DK Metcalf, the big pickup for the Steelers. 3 catches, 72 yards. Justin Fields, the former Steeler, making his Jets debut. 3 total touchdowns, and Breece Hall has put together quite a day. 143 total yards for New York.
Yeah, I think you have to give offensive coordinator Tanner Engstrand a lot of credit. He's done some great work with this Jets offense. Last year, 31st in rushing. We've been talking about it all day. Today, having success on the ground, translating that into some success in the air. Tanner Engstrand, first-year offensive coordinator, doing a great job so far. Let's see what he has in store for this drive. There's 5 minutes left.
5 years as a member of the Lions staff, eventually getting a passing game coordinator. Aaron Glenn came over, of course, from Detroit, and we asked him why Tanner Engstrand, and he said, I just was always impressed with him. From the day I met him, he was coaching tight ends in Detroit, but he had a well-rounded pedigree, a ton of different systems, was at Michigan under Harbaugh, and he just felt it was a great fit.
Yeah, it's just funny. I was asking Tanner, I said, are you going to bring that 4th down aggressiveness from Detroit over here? And he said, that's a good question to ask Aaron.
He deferred. Yeah. First down, Fields. Underneath pass is caught by a former Lion, Josh Reynolds, for 5 yards, quickly tackled by Eccles. Stay tuned. NFL Today update delivered by Little Caesars, time permitting. All the latest NFL scores and highlights. We hit the 5-minute mark. Fields is 15 of 18 for 211 yards, 6 straight completions for Justin Fields.
It would take a serious drive, but this is one of those situations where if you're going to be a running team and you want to bleed the clock out here at the end of the game, this could be a chance to show it.
Breece Hall accelerates for 2. Tackle made by Hayward. So the numbers that people were looking at from last season, everybody around the NFL knew the numbers would not mirror those this season for the Jets. They have changed their whole offensive approach, and it has showed in the season opener. 37 rushing attempts, 182 yards on the ground. This first down would be worth about 2 minutes off the clock if you can get it. This is a 3rd and 3. Fields avoids the first, but couldn't avoid the second wave. And the Steelers come through with Pittsburgh sending safeties. Clark, Thornhill, all over it. A loss of 2.
Highsmith started it out, just missed the tackle, and then Chuck Clark against his former team, making a huge stop there. Like you said, Ian, saving A, a first down, but B, a ton of clock.
So it'll be Austin McNamara punting away for the Jets with Calvin Austin, dangerous return man, standing at his own 28-yard line. They use as much clock as possible. Bit of a rush. McNamara gets a good one off. And Austin, fair catch called for. And he brings it in at the 18. That's where Pittsburgh will set up shop. That's a 56-yard punt for McNamara. Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. They do have possession and a chance to grab the lead.
3:13 left. Down by 1. Aaron Rodgers. That life against his old team. This is what it's all about right here. NFL football's back.
Rodgers and the Steelers open up at the 19-yard line. 32-31. Jets claim to a 1-point lead. Just like the schedule makers drew it up. Rodgers. And that's a catch for Freiermuth.
That's one of those where the coverage was great. There was just nothing the defender could do when Freiermuth runs a route like that and Rodgers puts it where only he can get it.
So the spot is going to leave them short. 2nd and 1 for Pittsburgh. Under 3 minutes to go. From the gun, Rodgers sets and throws. And a flag.
Pass interference. Yeah.
It was Stevens against Austin.
Yep, Austin had a step. Stevens just grabbed it.
Pass interference. Defense number 21. Flag foul. Automatic first down.
You see a little tug of the jersey right there. He's got him beat, holds on to the arm. It's a tough one, man. Playing DB in this league is so hard. Those spot fouls where you get a 20-yard penalty because you're hand combat fighting, you're trying to keep up with a guy who he knows the route you don't. I am glad that I did not have to play cornerback.
Did anybody ever ask you to have a quarterback?
I'm very insulted.
Aaron Rodgers, he's been down this road many times in his career, trying to do it yet again. Rodgers, and that ball.
That was caught.
That was awesome.
Oh, the ricochet.
Bobbled, hit by Sauce, hit by Cisco, hit by John, back into the hands of DK.
That's an 11-yard reception. And the Steelers closing in on field goal range. They're there. Calvin Austin with the catch. Tackle for Stevens.
Minute boy. Steelers better get this and get that win.
I grew up in Wisconsin. Antonio Freeman caught a ball on his back one time. That was crazy.
And it's not quite the immaculate reception, but pretty impressive. Steelers. They're down on the scoreboard, but everything is pointing in the right direction for Pittsburgh. You're watching NFL Kickoff presented by YouTube TV. at MetLife. Season opener with the Jets leading at 32-31, but the Steelers are driving. Line of scrimmage is the 40 on a 2nd and 9 for Pittsburgh. Rodgers, quick hitter, catch by Smith, but the Jets sniff it out. Brings up 3rd and long now for the Steelers. That was the 11-yarder to DK Metcalf. How?
Just bobble ball, just bouncing all around. Somehow he's laying on the ground and ends up with it.
4 different players touch the football.
That last play is tough, Ian, because they're trying to do a quick little screen to Jonnu to get a couple yards to kind of guarantee field goal position, but it backfired and almost moved them a little too far back.
Yep. They still need 5-6 yards to feel comfortable. We're down to a minute 13 left. Yep. And Aaron Rodgers takes a timeout.
Timeout called by Aaron Rodgers.
So 1 timeout remaining on both sides. Stay tuned. NFL Today update delivered by Little Caesars. Time permitting, all the latest NFL scores and highlights. Week 1 around the National Football League. Right now, you're looking at a 61-yard field goal. Boswell career long is 59.
He's been reliable. He's been a phenomenal kicker for the Steelers. He's definitely hoping that his new quarterback can get him a few more yards at least right here.
Pittsburgh got off to such a tremendous start last season, only to see the year end wild card round against Baltimore. They made sweeping changes, and obviously the biggest one, Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. Right now they're asking him in this offense to put them in position to possibly win this game.
So let's see if they send a few guys to try and ensure that this gets knocked out of field goal range.
3rd down and 11. Rodgers, he will throw it. Sideline toss up in the air. Incomplete. Calvin Austin with Brandon Stevens. And now Pittsburgh has to make a decision.
They're looking for a flag. Little hand fighting there.
Austin was talking to the officials. He felt Stevens got his hands all over him. And now the field goal unit is on with Boswell.
It's definitely one of those, if you're a Steelers fan, you're looking for it. If you're a Jets fan,
all over for them.
This is a 60-yard attempt. It would be a new career long for Boswell. For the lead, sweeps the leg.
Beat the field goal, yeah.
Consistent, 2-time Pro Bowler, and he nails it from long range for our 7th lead change of the day.
That had some distance on it. That was good from plenty.
So now the Jets will get the football and exhale, sigh of relief from Tomlin. Celebration for Rodgers. And the pendulum swings to New York and Justin Fields. 34-32. The Jets couldn't convert on 2 two-point conversions, and this is a 2-point game.
The 1 timeout obviously comes into play here.
So Boswell will kick it off. Gibson and Smith are back deep. And it's going to be the rookie. Arian Smith on the return. Smith's got major speed, but he gets taken down just across the 30-yard line. Coming up next, you can count on Game 2 of our NFL on CBS doubleheader being a must-see matchup. The Lions and the Packers lock up at Lambeau. You can always count on Sundays for the NFL on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
points, 7 lead changes. I mean, this is everything you could possibly ask for.
JJ, get used to it. This is what life in the booth is.
I love it. And I get to work with one of the best in the business. Very happy to be here.
Now that target line for the Jets on the Pittsburgh end of the field to give Nick Folk a chance. Fields high throw, and it's handled by Tyler Johnson off the practice squad and contributing here in the late stages of the fourth quarter. The clock is moving, though, down to 44 seconds. Jets have the one timeout remaining.
You have to hand that ball to the official or at least try and spot it yourself. Save a couple seconds here.
They pick up 7. Fields hanging tough in the pocket. Fields taking time. Downfield throw! Incomplete! Jalen Ramsey makes the play against Josh Reynolds. And the clock stops with 30 seconds left.
New addition to the Steelers paying off big here. Jalen Ramsey is going to be all over him. Almost runs the route for him as he runs just a little comeback. Had a chance to really finish the game there if he can hold that one in.
3rd down and 3 for the Jets.
These are the situations as a pass rusher. You just lick your chops. You know they have to throw it. You get to tee off.
Fields steps up, and Fields is hit as he threw the football. It's ruled
Yep,
incomplete.
Jets don't go for it. They miss this and they win. If not, then they're still alive.
He came firing through.
Terrell Austin pulling something out of his bag here. Sends both linebackers at Fields. Just overpowers the offensive line. Too many guys to block. And a beautiful hit there by Patrick Queen.
And this could be your ball game. 4th and 3. 25 seconds to go. 2-point lead for the Steelers.
Only 10 on the play clock. Got to get going here.
Fields on 4th down. Steps up. Fields delivers. Catch me!
He did not get it. The game is over. He won.
Introduce yourself to your new teammates than making a hit like this to end the game. Game on the line, 4th and 3, coming up with a massive, clean hit to end the game.